Hey everyone. Okay, today's topic, prostitutes. Yay. I mean, aren't we all excited? Yeah. Well, to be honest with you, maybe I'll do one on strippers too. Um, anyone who has watched any of my former videos knows that I think everybody has an addiction, that some type of vice that they go to that gives them some type of ultimate high. Mine was with dealing with my rape. I ended up basically becoming like a sex addict. So I found I was very orgasmic. The wilder the sex, the better it felt because I didn't have to deal with the pain of my rape. So I quickly became a complete addict and, you know, got my high off of the orgasm, so to speak. So in my younger days, I did once think of, oh, I could do porn, or I could be a stripper, or, I had no morals really for anything, in the sexual realm, I guess you could say. Um, so I can't really knock prostitutes that much, except that my ethics and my morals have increased slightly. Slightly. I was on a really good roll for a while there, and then I got involved with a guy who I thought I was going to marry, but that didn't happen, and then I decided to help somebody else be a friend with benefits, and, I was, getting something from that, but, that's fizzling out too, so, I have kind of learned that it's not satisfying me as much as it used to. So the time out that I took definitely seems to have been beneficial. So of course I have a whole different perspective on prostitutes, but here's the big thing with my second husband trying to kill me and stuff. I know he was seeing several prostitutes. And forgive me, it's very humid here right now. And yes, I have air conditioning, but I mean it's humid. It's, look at my hair. It's just flat, super flat from all this humidity. Oh god. I look like a drowned rat. I really do. Anyway, I'm trucking on though. I'm moving forward. So, prostitutes. I was watching a video the other day, and I can't even remember what it was about, but the lady was talking about where prostitutes, used to convene, and she could not think of the name of it. I was like, well, brothels. I used to have brothels that you went to, and, there was a red light or, something seductive that would bring you in, knowing there's women there that will offer sex services to anybody, and for a price, right? It has changed from back in the day where there were safer brothels where, the women were, all in the same place and they were cared for, to kind of street corners. So you see a lot of the street walkers or the street corners, or, they're hanging out in parking lots or certain places depending on the type of city that you live in. And then I questioned myself, how did that happen? A brothel was a much safer place, where they could cry out for help or something. There's lots of other people around. I'm sorry. Anyone who knows me knows sometimes my hair really bothers me. I always say, hashtag girl problems. So it's just bothering me today. I'm sorry. But I really transmuted that to drugs becoming such a heavy thing that in order to get drugs, these women would perform these services, whether they were getting drugs for themselves or their boyfriends, or then the pimps would put them out on the streets. It was cheaper than housing them somewhere and stuff. So, and, you wouldn't get caught, as much, or they could run or whatever, because it wasn't like a house that could be raided type situation. So I really do think that the increase in drug usage in our society has definitely contributed 1,000,000% to street corner prostitutes and making it very unsafe for them. as well as the drugs have made it very unsafe for sexually transmitted diseases because of needle usage. So even the men, the Johns, so to speak, going to these prostitutes on the street corners are more at risk of taking something home to their spouses, um, stuff like that. And then you have your, what do they call them in the, my dad was a truck driver, and I worked at a truck stop once too as a waitress, only it was a smaller town, so it wasn't known as well. Um, they go knocking from door to door for these truck drivers. uh, lot lizards. I'm sorry. I couldn't move on until I figured it out. Lot lizards. What do they call them? Oh god, that sounds so bad. But you have to realize some of these women aren't necessarily always cleaning up, or it's got to be pretty nasty. I don't even know what would possess a guy to pay a prostitute, okay? Unless you're looking at your high-end escorts and you're paying, a really good dollar amount. They're probably cleaner or healthier because the average person taking drugs can't afford them. So, they probably have a better clientele would be my guess. I mean, I'm guesstimating here. I don't know, if you're a prostitute and you're willing under a AKA name maybe, and you want to comment down below, especially if you've been a prostitute for a really long time, and there's, things in the trade that you want to tell us have changed over the years, or if there's new names to it or anything, fill me in, because I'm clueless to this kind of stuff. Apparently, somebody I worked with about years ago runs a business, but under the fake business, it's kind of like a money laundering way to pay for the prostitutes and the prostitution and all this stuff, and then there's drugs traded in that too, and there's good money in it. So I was like, well, I'm staying out of it, and I don't want to know this person anymore, because being associated, and it was another female that, well, I don't want anyone to think I'm one of the prostitutes. I'm not. I have sex for free. I'm a slut, not a whore. I don't know that that's any better, but at least I get to choose, and I get to know the person before I have sex with, I'm more of a friends with benefit slut. So, and it's not all the time. I fell off the wagon once, okay, once in the last few years. So, if you saw the guy, he's hot. He's super freaking hot going through a divorce. I'll help you through your divorce. Because he couldn't be with anybody until his divorce is final. So, just a helping hand, maybe more than a hand. But, okay, enough. This is not where this is supposed to be going. And I know it's all your thoughts that are taking me there because you want me to talk about it. Mostly the men. But so we're not going there anymore. Anyway, then I started really looking at the evolution of things. And I'm like, okay, so we've gone from street corners, and drugs have caused this, to what you call crack whores. I don't know how desperate some of you guys are. Because I've seen pictures of crack whores. I was, a couple, 3-4 months ago maybe, I decided to reach out in my community and kind of try to get to know people, which was an epic failure. Nobody wants to know me. I don't know why. I'm such a great person. But it's like, I don't know, women get jealous of me. I don't know why. The women that I think are getting jealous of me, I think are a million times prettier than me. So I don't know if I'm just competition or what, or maybe I do just look that ugly. I don't know. But I have problems with women everywhere I go. It's insane. So anyway, I had gone into a local place and was getting to know some people, and I got to know this one guy, and I went back the following weekend to see if I could get to know some more people, and I was dancing and having fun with some girls, and that guy that I got to know the first time was there. And he introduced himself to me because I had met him in another town nearby when I bought a vehicle. I was like, oh, Wow, yeah, I do remember you. So that's how me and this guy knew each other. It wasn't like we weren't looking at dating or interested in each other or anything like that. But anyway, I'm sitting there talking to him, and this girl whose husband is a cop, she's like telling him, I can make her go away. I can have him scare her and make her go away. And he's like, no, no, no. And it's like, what is your problem? I'm just sitting here having a polite conversation with this guy. Why do you even want me to go away? Like, what's the deal? Well, by that time, then I had found out that I was the rumor of the town. That I wanted every man in jail. So he was scared. I was going to put him in. What are you talking about? You know, I mean, this how rumors fly for no reason at all because of the ex that I bailed out of jail for $6,000 was running around saying this. I'm like, for these people that even believe this, I don't need them as friends. I'm sorry if you're that stupid. I don't need you as my friend. I'm blunt. Maybe that's why people don't like me. I just tell it like it is. I'm like, there's no time in life for these games. I'm not playing them. I'm not going there. I haven't judged you that way. Don't judge me that way. You know, kind of thing. But anyway, so while we were there, these two women come in, and they were what I would label crack whores. You could tell the drug usage, you can tell looking at a woman when she has used way too many drugs for too long, the missing teeth, they don't care about themselves at all. They just care about getting that next hit. And they'll have sex with people to do that. And so I got to see a crack whore up close and personal. I was like, oh, okay, no, don't want to be that. No, thank you very much. I will go live in my vehicle and die. Thank you. That's not happening. But then I got thinking, okay, when COVID came, so they all had to be off the streets. This is how my brain works. It's really bizarre. I'm a bizarre person. I'm fun. I can be crazy fun. But I got thinking, okay, COVID, how'd they make their money? Home delivery. Everything went to home delivery services. You could just order them online. So they were made to order. Rates were cheaper. I mean, think about it. And I did find there is a site. I don't want to say the name of it because I don't want to get, in trouble for it. But I was guided to a site where basically it's like a hookup site, but every time you try to hook up, and this guy was really cool, and he did this for me, was talking to these women and trying to hook up with them, and then they would meet, and they would give them their rates. So some would give rates before the meeting in like emails and stuff, and others it was when they'd meet, then they would be willing to do it, but they'd tell them this is, the price. So everybody who met on that site for like 2 weeks, they were all prostitutes. It was quite the experiment. So I'd say that's what that whole site is. I'd stay away from that one. Most dating sites or meeting sites, that's all they are nowadays online. I mean, it's just sex. That's all it is. I don't even know where you meet anybody anymore. They ruined the whole online thing now. But so then I was like, what happens when you have a whole world of online whores? I really got to thinking this totally ruins relationships, and I got thinking about more of these sites, and look at how many sites are out there set just for married men. Married people, I guess it doesn't have to just be married men, but for married couples to cheat, to purposely cheat. There's people out there that either are married that want to cheat with another married person, or single people that want to cheat with a married person. Why would you even go to something like that? Just get a divorce, for goodness sakes. I mean, this stuff is ridiculous. Or don't get married at all. Don't live with somebody. Just run around and have sex. I mean, the amount of relationships, everyone can say it's COVID that ruined it. COVID did not ruin as many relationships as these sites have. I almost guarantee you that the cheating is just vampant out there. When I did try online dating, I met men that acted as single, out of town, came to me. We dated, were building a relationship, and then I find out they were married. So, I mean, the wives weren't really questioning much because they thought their men were traveling for their jobs and stuff. I mean, you can't trust anybody anymore. I mean, if they're married, they're not going to tell you the truth. It's absolutely ridiculous how many people out there are cheating. And then, because I'm looking at sites, I get to fans only. Sites everyone knows what fans only is. I'm not going to say what it's associated with. But as I'm not really trying to promote this, but fans only starts out as where people who are an inspiration, I guess you could say, or influential, people can have memberships to their fans only, and kind of meet them, in a group setting or one-on-one or whatever. I'm not exactly sure how the whole thing works, but a lot of them will take requests, and it's like girls in little kiddie pools in their bedrooms in the bikini oiling down and doing sex stuff, for these people, and then they pay them money. And I was like, wow. Wow. Even our most basic of social media has turned into a porn site, And I actually had somebody proposition me and ask me if I would do a fans only with them. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I entertained the idea because I thought I'm about to be homeless, and if we could wear masks, if we could, different things like that, maybe I'd do it and not do it alone. We do it as two people. But then it was like that's probably not a wise idea. We really shouldn't do that. Luckily, I got smart enough to say, I don't care how desperate I am, I'm not doing that, okay? So, but in moments of desperation, you think for a moment, maybe, I do like sex, and, I do like being found attractive, and maybe there's a market, and this person's willing to do it with me, so they think I'm worth investing in. I was like, no, this is going completely in the wrong direction. This is not where we want to go. Next thing you know, you're going to be some crack whore. So when I looked at this, level of downhillism, I was like, no, not a chance. It's not going to happen. The only thing positive I can really say about this, because I really do think prostitutes, were a huge part of getting drugs to my husband. I do think my stepdaughter's a prostitute. I do. I found when I moved, there was some stuff in some of my notebooks in my office where I think she was using my computer, her girlfriend. The girl he was cheating on me with was a 20-year-old who was her girlfriend, one of her best friends. I think they've been in my office because after I moved, I found stuff in this notebook, and one was her name with a lodge and phone number and stuff, and certain tick marks next to it. So either it was drug delivery or it was she was meeting up with men there and trade off her services, because then there were dollar amounts next to the tick marks, and I was like, okay, they're running a little business, these college girls are. So I can't say for sure, but I think that's sad if that's what she's chosen to do, or even if she did it just to get through. I would have always been there for her, but but anyway, I was like, this has got to end on a positive note. I have to have something to say to the prostitutes of our nation. All I could think of, way to go, ladies. You're making the world a better place one dick at a time. That's all I can say about it. Way to go, ladies. Make the world a better place one dick at a time. And they're working hard. They are out there working those booties hard, okay? I'm not saying it's just the women. I'm not saying it's just the men. We probably should stop because we're getting carried away to the point where people can't even date anymore because they end up with an escort or a prostitute and they don't even know that's what they're meaning. So I'm kind of not feeling bad that I'm getting out of here soon, Because I don't know that I want to know what's coming next. I did find a quote, though, on the definition of a prostitute. And it said, prostitute is a lady who sells her body to those who have sold their morals. So it's not necessarily the prostitute, it's the one purchasing the services that has sold their morals. Think about that. That is a true statement. As far as biblical quotes go, I did find two that I thought were worth mentioning. One is Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 17. It says, "None of the daughters of Israel shall be a cult prostitute, and none of the sons of Israel shall be a cult prostitute." So I think this goes beyond Israelites, okay? Because once Gentiles were allowed in with the Jews to heaven, I think, we went past Israelites. So that includes all of you, everybody, including me. Me too. Me too. Almost slipped on my morals, but no fans only for me. Not if that's what it is. No, not going there. Also, Leviticus chapter 19, verse 29, it says, "Do not defile your daughter by making her a prostitute, or the land will be filled with prostitution and wickedness." Yes, wickedness comes from prostitution. It really does. It does, because if you lost your morals and you're going to pay somebody to have sex with, then next thing you know, you're like my ex-husband and you're paying a hitman to kill your wife. And you lose all morals. I'm sorry, but it is throw caution to the wind after that. It's probably not the prostitute. It was probably more like the drugs and his greed for money. I don't even blame the drugs as much as his greed for money. So, 20-year-old pussy helps, but I guess, I don't know. I haven't had 20-year-old pussy. I don't know, when I was 35, I had a 19-year-old dick, so that might be comparable. Okay, enough. Yes, I'm a terrible, horrible person. I'm reforming. I'm trying. I'm a heck of a lot better than I was when I was 35. But I'll always be a work in progress. I am weak to the flesh. Just like you men are with your prostitutes. I know I should not speak. But remember, way to go, ladies. Making the world a better place, one dick at a time. Love you. Bye.